Welcome back to the Richland School District's Focus on Learning. We're going to focus on the Richland Education Foundation. I'm here with Kerri Mathis Marvel and Jennifer Lopez. Tell me a little bit about the foundation for people that may not be familiar.
Sure. The Richland Education Foundation is a nonprofit organization that is there for teachers and students. It really provides the extras for programs, innovative programs in the school district that teachers will write a grant for and request for special programs or projects.
Now, the foundation helps bridge that gap between state funding for education, and through those grants. Give us an example of what does that grant or money go towards?
Well, we have some really specific guidelines, and the state funding is quite good. But there's some great teachers in the school district that want to give a little extra to their students, or they see where a certain program would really help their development or learning abilities. And so our guidelines are usually, it can't be a consumable, meaning just to order seeds to plant on the windowsill. I mean, once those plants die, that would be considered consumable. So
something that lasts.
Something that lasts, and that not only just touches the current students that teacher may have, but teachers will also share a resource between their classrooms, and it'll stay in the classrooms for years and years to come. So that's really the biggest part of the guidelines, and also an innovative program, just not technology for technology's sake, for instance.
Mm-hmm. And now let's get back. The foundation is comprised of all volunteers.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Of people that anybody can volunteer. Anybody can dedicate their time, whether they have a child in this school district or not.
Yes, we meet once a month, and we have our board is comprised of board members, ex-teachers. Like you said, people are very interested, either have students or did have students in the school district. Really, those that are interested in the school district, what is happening there, and the importance of the educational things that are going on in the district.
Now, also besides grants that teachers or principals can apply for, you also offer scholarships for students.
We manage 3 scholarships. One is specifically for science scholarship. Gosh, we've been doing that for many years now. The Alcar Scholarship, a $1,000 scholarship. Another scholarship that we do is the Semler Scholarship, the former superintendent of the Richland School District. That's for science, math, or in arts, someone who's going on to one of those schools. And the third one we have is really for a student who's experienced some sort of challenge during their high school years. It could be maybe a severe case of diabetes, not necessarily a disability, but a challenge, I would say, getting through. And again, that's another $1,000 scholarship.
Now, how is the money raised? Are there fundraisers involved? What are some of the board members and volunteers do to help raise the money for these to provide these grants?
We do. We have an annual Scholar Scramble, which is a golf tournament over at Columbia Point Golf Course. Really exciting time. It usually takes place in the summer where principals...
Everybody loves golf.
Everybody loves golf.
As long as it's a great sunny day, right? No windy.
Out,
When school is out, Eastern Washington delivers, and usually the weather is quite good, and it's an opportunity for community members to get together and play a game for education. We usually have between 10 and 14 teams. It's one of our biggest fundraisers. It's a wonderful opportunity, and even if you're not a golfer, you can go ahead and be part of the sponsorship of maybe a tee sign or a team. And one of the really neat things that we do have is we bring on varsity golf players from the school district, and they are excellent. They pretty much so guarantee a win.
Yeah, so instead of a 4-man team, you can ante up and have a 5-person team.
That's right.
And that 5th person is a very, very good golfer.
Yes. So basically, you can actually buy someone to play golf if you don't know how to play golf.
Right.
You can still have the fun. You can just let him do the best ball, right?
Yes, and it is a scramble. It's 18 holes, but it is a scramble, so it's lots of fun.
Now, that really, you said that's your biggest fundraiser for the year. What does the majority of that fundraiser kind of go towards? Is that a lot of money comes from that to provide the grants?
Well, we already currently have seed money that was originally given, I don't know the exact year, but back in the 90s, to start the foundation. And of course, through the years, 2008 was not a great year, as we all know, for those funds to generate enough funds, So this is kind of, again, the scramble is to that stopgap so that we always have enough money to fund the grants, is the whole idea there. Is that we're not just relying on what we've already been given. We want to keep generating new funds.
Right, and through those new funds, you're up for, ideas of new fundraisers. If anyone has ideas of how you can get out there or they can help volunteer.
Absolutely. To become a member, you could be a board member. You could also just be an annual sponsor year over year of whatever amount. We have a very small entry fee for that. But again, membership just guarantees that the good work still continues to happen here at the foundation. Yeah.
So it sounds pretty easy if anyone's interested, for a love of the school system and wanting to make a difference for the future, that they can, easily go on. It's just one meeting a month.
One meeting a month.
As well as plus fundraisers. But let's go back to the students and the teachers. What are some of the, examples of the grants that, or the requests that you have granted?
Well, there's quite a spectrum. I think a lot of parents can relate to the Scholastic Reader. A lot of us had those in classes when we were young. Many schools have the PTA, is intact and can help fund that. Not every elementary school is in that type of socioeconomic district. So we will come up with a subscription for Scholastic Reader for the year. That's kind of one end of the spectrum. That's reading. Obviously, everybody can relate and say, yeah, reading's great. The other end of the spectrum would be more maybe some science grant requests. The Richland High School, they do great work with the equipment they have, but sometimes if they have a little bit better equipment, they can do more experiments, involve more students, and get the experiment done in less time. So we did an AC/DC voltage regulator power supply, and actually they invited us in to see the students using it. So it's quite a variety. We do not just science and math, but also reading and arts also. There was the iPad recently.
Yeah, the iPads.
The art
Seems to be a new way of learning.
It is. It's really exciting. A teacher requested 10 iPads and, guarantees that it's going to really change the way they research the art, how they display the art, how they actually do their art. And so we're looking forward to even going into the classroom and actually seeing it in action, something we really look forward to.
Right, and that's one thing, is that you make sure that you follow through. So when that, whatever the request is granted, you go in there and kind of test it out and see if it works. Now, what if it kind of doesn't really work like you may have thought it would?
Sometimes it doesn't work, and that's okay. Then we all get together and retool and say, well, let's try something different, okay? Because like we said, the teacher's heart's in the right place. They're trying to bring a program to their students that's really going to help the students. So it's not like, oh my gosh, you failed, we're never going to accept a grant request from you again. It's like, let us work through this again. Give us another request. Let's see how we can help you.
And how do you pick which requests that you're going to grant?
We get together as a board and we review them. We take quite a bit of time reviewing them, and sometimes we can't make an immediate decision based on the proposal that's been given. So we'll go back to the teacher and we'll do a little more research, collect more information, and present it again to the board.
Now, is there anything else that we may not have covered that you want to let people know about the Richland Education Foundation?
Well, you mentioned fundraising. Of course, we'll always take money, but the way other people can get involved is everybody probably knows a teacher. And even though you may live in Kennewick, your neighbor might be a teacher in the Richland School District. And most teachers, it's not like they have a lot of extra time to write a grant request.
Right.
So, volunteer to help your neighbor write a grant request. I mean, there's just so many ways that you can help the local school districts.
Or they can just go online and donate.
Yes.
And stay kind of in touch with what the latest fundraiser is.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yes. And it is really important that those teachers, because teachers are creative and they're innovative, but they're super busy and they have a lot going on. And so to be able to have that great grant proposal written and presented is very important.
Well, education is important. That's why we're focusing on learning. Thank you so much, Kerri, Jennifer, for joining us. We'll be back with the Richland School District's Focus on Learning.